5 simple words. Always be half marathon ready. This hit me like a ton of bricks. A friend of mine who's a keen runner once told me that his dad, who was also a keen runner, said to him on his deathbed, always be half marathon ready. This wasn't just a basic running request, it's way deeper than that. It's an ethos for life. And I think, until this point, I hadn't been able to articulate how I felt about my own approach to running and life. So yes, I believe that ultimately the half marathon is the best distance you can run, but perhaps not for the reasons you thought when you clicked on this video. And I'm going to coach you on how you can get your running and your life to this point, so you can always be half marathon ready. This week we've come to Hanoi in Vietnam because we're here to activate our new visas. Mary's gone on a 10-kilometer run.
Quite tempting to join in with this crowd.
And I get to soak in the incredible exercise culture in Vietnam and reflect on all of our exercise journeys. Let's just jump back a second, jump back from the half marathon and talk about the message that we're actually sending to ourselves by running at all, because this park that I'm in is incredibly inspirational for people exercising, people running, people cycling. And I think the message that we generally send to ourselves is that we're worth it. If we exercise, we're worth it. We're investing in ourselves. And I think that's a huge message to even start with. But here's why I think that half marathon is the message. Here's the thing about a half marathon, in my opinion anyway. A half marathon cannot be blagged. And that is not to say that people that run 5 and 10Ks blag them, but people could. There are people out there that could just wake up and be like, I'm going to run a 10K today. I don't think the same can be said of a half marathon, and that's why I think it's the next level up. It's the next step up in terms of your commitment as a runner, whilst also appreciating 100% not knocking anyone's commitment as a runner to any distance. And if you know the channel well enough, you'll know that that isn't me. I guess what I'm saying with half marathon is you got to really want it. There's no way around it. There's no blagging it. It's going to take dedication. It's going to take something above the norm for you to go out and actually do it. And that's what I think is so special about the half marathon. And sometimes the marathon it's a step up. Here's Mary. I'm going to stop her. Just stop her for a second, have a quick chat. Oh, look who I've just found. Just found Mary on her run, and she's going to tell you the first reason that we think half marathon might be the best distance to prepare for life for.
One thing I love is that you can always be 5 or 10K ready. Like, you can jump on a 5 or 10K race like it's nothing, and it's super comfortable because your fitness is beyond that already.
Nice one. I'm going to let you, you've got to carry on your run.
I'm gonna finish this thing
Go.
off.
Finish your run.
Okay.
And on the other side, I suppose, of what Mary was saying is that being half marathon ready is just that amazing platform if you do ever want to go into a marathon training cycle, like we do quite regularly. Having that half marathon background, being able to run it every weekend, means that you don't have to take such steep progressions in your marathon training, and therefore, in my opinion anyway, you kind of steer clear of injury a lot more because you're not having to take bigger jumps. But what I think I love the most about half marathon distance is the fact that you can pretty much find a half marathon in most cities that you go to, or somewhere close to a city. Like, we're in Hanoi right now, and we just did a few months ago a half marathon here at Tay-Ho Lake. And while it wasn't the best experience I ever had, we found that, and I don't think it's as easy to find a marathon. Maybe you can find 5 and 10Ks as well, I don't know. But I know you've probably got a different distance that you like, and I'm going to spend a little bit of time while I go to the track to explain why I still think the half marathon is the best for life. Let me be super clear here just for a second. Training for a half marathon, and I'll tell you how we do it later in the video, but the training is the vehicle. The half marathon is not the important thing. It's what training for it represents. A level of health and fitness that is accessible but way above the norm. A discipline that bleeds into every area of your life. A time commitment that holds you accountable but isn't overwhelming. Always being half marathon ready has nothing to do with running a half marathon, and everything to do with the person that you want to be and the life that you want to lead. That's where the power is. My aim for this section of the video is to run you through as quickly as I possibly can all of the other distances that you could potentially run, and probably there's some others that I don't cover, and tell you, you know, the plus sides, but also why I don't think they stack up against a half marathon for so many reasons. But I'm doing a kilometre repeat session, which you'll find out more about on Wednesday. So I'm going to try and do the information during the recovery times in between each kilometre repeat. So I laugh at myself while I even explain that, because I'm going to be honest, it's going to be disgusting. My brain's not going to work. I'll give it a go. Okay, we start with 5k while I'm fairly rational. This is a great starting point, by the way. Not knocking 5k, I love it. Park runs, so inclusive, wonderfully inclusive. However, I think you really quite quickly reach your limit when you're a runner. When it comes to 5k, and you're like, you can get faster over 5k for a while, but generally you want to push on. I need to calm my heart rate.
What I was trying to say here was, as inclusive and achievable as 5Ks are, they're not enough to hold most accountable fitness-wise and most quickly want to move on.
Still here, right? No way I'm maintaining. No way I'm maintaining this. I'm going to be humbled today. It is so hot, like Thailand summer, hot and humid. 10k. I'm going to voice over 10k while I lie here.
10k is closer to the half marathon in terms of what it takes training wise to get there, but people can and still do blag them. They're a great test and distance for many, but they are also my least favourite distance because they're the same pain as 5k, just doubled. 10k is the first distance where I think you have to adjust your life around it a little bit for training, but for me it's not enough. There's not enough commitment needed.
Let's talk marathon, shall we? While we still have some light. Now, it'll be of no surprise that marathon's kind of like my favourite distance to race, but it's not my favourite distance for life. And there's a distinction, I think, is when you get a marathon right, there is no better feeling in the world, in my opinion anyway. Like, I absolutely love it in terms of exercise. It's pure, you're in the zone, it's just a wonderful feeling. However, what it takes to get to that point is quite monumental. Like, the hours, the weeks, the months of training, it is huge. And if you've got a busy life, it takes time out of your schedule. It's like, it's a full commitment, it's a full responsibility. And to be honest, you know, I would say, am I always going to be marathon ready? No, that's the point. I don't think I can be, I don't think I want to be, but in the occasions when I train for a marathon, you better believe I'm going to give it my everything. But it's why the marathon isn't quite up there, is that it just takes so much. Like this session today, we have utterly blown up. This is a humbling session, mind, body and soul.
Now, you might already be there, so we're going to rely on you as community to comment and help those that aren't. But what we're going to do now is we're going to spend some time in the video talking about how we got ourselves, literally the training structure that we followed to get ourselves to be half marathon ready, but also the things we did in our life to achieve the same things. And look, I've got to show you this. This is where we are at the moment. This is, hang on, Halong Bay. Can you see out there? That is Halong Bay in Vietnam, very famous, and we're going to go and run along the shorefront, which is going to, hopefully, fingers crossed, going to be an amazing run.
I suppose this run is a bit of a metaphor for the first point I want to make, and probably the most important of this part of the video, and that's take your time. We're taking our time on this run, nice and easy hour, but with the getting to half marathon ready, it can't be rushed and it shouldn't be rushed. If you want to truly stay there, it's got to be all about, you know, if you're completely a beginner, couch to 5k, maybe spend some time at 5k, stabilize, then get to 10k, spend some time around there. Take your time. It doesn't need to take months, it can take years. You might not be able to see that in the background there. I'll zoom in if I can, but that is the bridge we've got to run over in a minute. It's pretty high. When I say a minute, it's going to take some time. Mary's just nipped to use the amenities, so I'll use this rest time to tell you about how I would structure it if it were me. My experience is you can train for a marathon. A marathon on 3 runs a week. So why rush it when you're training for a half marathon? My advice would be to follow one of these 3 approaches. The first one is 3 runs a week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Job done. That'll get you there, no problems. The second one is undulating plan. We call it an undulating plan because you basically just run every other day. So some weeks you're running 3 days, some weeks you're running 4 days, but you're never running back-to-back days. And if you're like us, we train for marathons, sometimes halves, sometimes 10s. We tend to follow a 4-run pattern unless we're in marathon build, where we just do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. And that seems to work fine for us because the weekend runs we can recover from better because we don't have a working week in the middle. We're getting there, but we're not quite going to make it because we've got to turn around in 200 meters. Long run is tomorrow, so we'll be going over that tomorrow. That'll be on Wednesday's video in case you're interested in us running over a bridge. Bridge is on the bridge. What's it? A new segment of a video. Bridge on the bridge. Oh yeah, I've got 0.02. There we go. That's halfway. Yeah, keep going. Let's go. So when you get to the half marathon, my message would also be chill out, take your time. There's so many different sessions you could do, and you could have done them at 10k or 5k, you know, lactate threshold, tempo, VO2 max, fartlek, there's a ton of them. If we want to do some VO2 max training, the way we train is we train in blocks. So all of our training in our life, whether we're training for a marathon, half marathon, whatever, we do like 3 weeks of training, 1 week recovery, 3 weeks of training, 1 week recovery. So the block is 4 weeks, and we might do a VO2 max block, we might do a speed block, you know. That's the way that we have found that no matter which distance we're training for in our life, or none, that is about right for longevity rather than, it's amazing for performance as well, by the way, but it's the balance of longevity and performance we're after, because we want to be able to do this until we're 90, 95, 100, beyond. It's getting sweaty out here. What do you reckon the temperature is?
Must be about 30.
More than that. What are you talking about? It's only like 34. Feel it.
I'll try not to think about it. Something that can really help when you're training at half marathon distance is accountability, and nothing holds you accountable like a group, a really good training group or club. It could be our group. We've got a members group which is actually the best group in the world, not biased at all, but a hugely supportive community. We have loads of fun, we help one another, we provide coaching advice, we've got plans for all levels, and it really, really supports you and ties you in with the commitment you've got to your running journey.
Oh, this is nice and shaded right at the end of the run. And the reason we got out today, the reason we get out any day, is that we've made these runs, we've made our training, we've made our life non-negotiable. It fits within our life. This is what we do. We know the type of people we want to be when the end of our life comes, hopefully a long time away, and then that's essentially the contract, and then we make that happen day in, day out. It's a non-negotiable process, but it's a fun one.
It is, and that coffee is going to taste amazing after this.
Oh yeah, it's going to hit good. I hope the video's helped you in some way, and if it has, do us a favour and consider clicking the subscribe button. And also, I'm sure you're going to get value by watching this recent video that we made on the 7 worst habits that are going to keep you from fulfilling your awesome potential. And the good news is, once you know what the habits are, they're pretty easy to get rid of. And while we're at it, I've also included a free half marathon training plan video for you. And finally, if you want to join our amazing community, I've put the links in the description to the video. See you Wednesday.